It's the President, Donald Trump, who has spoken with Russian President Vladimir Putin over the phone and agreed to start talks to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. In an extraordinary thaw in relations that could leave Kyiv out in the cold, Trump described the call as lengthy and highly productive. He also used common sense, something that he has been using during his campaign. He also, the conversation lasted for about an hour and a half, of course, addressing the deep tension since Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. The Kremlin said that the call was very lengthy and that Putin and Trump had agreed that the time had come to work together. Zelensky said that he had discussed opportunities to achieve peace in a meaningful call with Trump during the US president had shared also details of the conversation that he had with Putin.
No, we had a great call, and it lasted for a long time, over an hour this morning. I also had with President Zelensky a very good call after that. And I think we're on the way to getting peace. I think President Putin wants peace, and President Zelensky wants peace, and I want peace. I just want to see people stop getting killed. But we'll get it. I think we'll get it. We'll get something done. We're going to be meeting. Actually, tomorrow they're meeting in Munich, as you know, and we're going to have some other meetings. And I'll be dealing with President Putin largely on the phone, and we ultimately expect to meet. In fact, we expect that he'll come here and I'll go there, and we're going to meet also probably in Saudi Arabia the first time. We'll meet in Saudi Arabia, see if we can get something done. But we want to end that war. That war is a disaster. It's a really bloody, horrible war.
Vladimir Putin said that he does see it as a possibility for this conflict in Ukraine to end as a result of peace talks, but he said that could only be achieved if the root causes of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine are recognized by the international community. And we know that the two main reasons, which have been voiced both by President Vladimir Putin and by Foreign Minister Lavrov, is NATO's expansion to the east and a series of laws passed recently in Ukraine, which Moscow sees as a derogatory against ethnic Russians and Russian speakers in Ukraine. We know also that Vladimir Putin invited Donald Trump to Moscow with his team. Of course, we don't know any dates yet, but another positive sign and a signal for the relations between the two countries, and the two leaders also agreed to continue with their contacts. Now, Donald Trump later also spoke with Vladimir Zelensky and said that he had a fruitful conversation with him. We also heard the same reaction from Vladimir Zelensky as well. But given the context of everything else that was said today and everything else that happened today, frankly, I wouldn't expect Mr. Zelensky to be in a very positive mood, because the American chief of the Pentagon, the new chief of the Pentagon, went to Europe today, met with the NATO countries at the NATO headquarters, and said that Washington doesn't see it as something realistic for Ukraine to return to its 2014 borders, prior to all the military action in Ukraine, and most importantly, prior to Crimea, which kind of sounds that Washington is ready to recognize Crimea as a part of Russia, which is something very interesting to come out of the lips of the new chief of the Pentagon, because it completely goes against everything that was earlier said by the previous U.S. administration.